was sick at the time, and we just.
Oh, we live.
Oh,
Happy Sunday, everybody! Highway 54 in the house. It's cold, so we're all complaining like, man, I need to turn on the heaters. A lot of stuff happening. I mean, there's so much to choose from, but we can only narrow it down to a couple topics. But we've got some good stuff happening that we can talk about, and some new intros. And we got a new segment called "Am I the Asshole?"
Yep.
majority
Say
of the
that?
time,
Yeah, we'll check it out. All right, stand by, guys. Hold on.
The ongoing series about the life of the people touched by the love of the Pacific. Here are their stories. This is Highway 54.
Hi, konbawa, everybody. Mahalo, aloha, half a day. What else we got? Good evening. What's happening?
What's amp?
All I gotta say is fuck the Chargers. That's a tweet.
They coach is out of there.
But how about
The
the
dude had
Eagles? How about
27.
Dude, we were at the top of the fourth quarter, 30-0
I
against
know
the Jaguars.
y'all suck some real bad ass.
Lost by 1 point by a fucking kick at 3 seconds.
See, that's what happens when you play not to lose.
Right.
They played not to lose. They weren't aggressive.
Yeah.
They got a head bust.
So just a disclaimer: if y'all see him getting emotional tonight, you know that the Ravens are playing tonight.
Ravens against the Bengals.
Yeah. So he got the TV right here, and he keep looking up. So if he start,
Oh no, that's not the TV. It's actually the script that we're gonna go back.
yeah, right.
Stop snitching.
You almost passed out a while ago.
Yeah, I had brain freeze for real.
Hey, Nikki.
Hey, Nikki, what's going on?
What up, Nick?
All right, so we got some good topics today, and then we've got some new intros, and of course, we have a new segment called "Am I the Asshole?" So, actually, all this was put by Carla and Anthony. We've got so many articles out there and so much news, and it's hard to pick which ones you want to talk about. But I think these two hot topics we're going to talk about is on point, and I think we should talk about this. Stand by. You know, Tennessee cops including a married female officer fired after repeated wild sex romps. So a small Tennessee police station has been rocked by allegations of a wild sexual misconduct after a married female officer allegedly and steamy romps with 6 male officers, including illicit on-duty liaisons, according to reports. Officer Megan Hall and her fellow law officers allegedly engaged in wild sescapades that include sending dirty pictures, taking her top off at Girls Gone Wild hot tub parties, and having oral sex with 2 officers at the LA Virgin, Tennessee police station. The steamy shenanigans in which Hall allegedly bragged about the size of one of the partners' dick. I'm gonna say that. Claimed to be on the open marriage. She claims that she's on an open marriage, but the husband does not know that they're in an open marriage.
Yeah, he found out.
Yeah.
He gonna find the dick.
Yeah,
He fucked around and found out.
her version of open is the legs.
Several of the officers have been fired, except for 2 officers who allegedly had romps with Hall. They kept their jobs.
Who want a romp?
Yeah.
You're more rump.
So here's the thing. I know we talked, man, you know, it's like Office 101. Not only don't fuck around with somebody in your own office, especially if you're in an open marriage or within you work together every day. Yeah. One person, how much more like 5 or 6 other people within your own office? Duh. It takes one person to fuck up or say something or be jealous or whatever it is, right? And then it all comes down and people are like, well, I feel bad. Oh, I got promoted because,
I wasn't part of this escapade.
Exactly. I'm not part of this team of.
Somebody might have said you should give good head or something like that, and then
exactly.
Let me see. I don't believe you. And then, yeah.
Somebody just say little subliminal stuff just to see what her reaction is. Next thing you know, everybody invited over to a gathering, a cookout, or whatever. They slip her some alcohol because that's what it said in the article too. Get her some alcohol. Next thing you know, she table dancing.
To the way to the wall. Skeet.
Now, only thing since she got fired, only place she can work is 7-Eleven now.
Yeah,
always open.
And they're having sex. They're all having these shenanigans and sexy shit on the clock, getting paid. It's like, hey, I got 5 minutes. You want to go in the back room and
they probably got skeet on the cuffs. That's disgusting.
No, you imagine.
Emotional, damn it.
That's what
the back seat of that squad car.
Oh,
my.
Yeah. I mean, that's just a disaster. It was a disaster just waiting to erupt. And of course, was it worth fucking nutting or being horny and losing your career, your reputation, your family, your rep? Was it worth it?
She said she here for a short time, not a long time.
What's your name? Give me. What's your parents number? 6969.
That's disgusting.
So I don't know if these part of rookie cops or veteran cops. I'm not sure. So
do you have the news article, like the news video clip of that?
But if it was the same, no, I'm just trying to flip the script. Sorry, I've been drinking. But if it was a guy, would it be the same thing? Would y'all still call it a train? What would y'all call it?
We call it Boomerang. They made a whole movie about it.
Emotional, damn it.
Boomerang, yeah.
Oh, what happened? You saw what happened to him.
Yeah,
he was walking around looking disheveled.
Watch your sorry ass home last night. Yeah.
But then think about it too. We live in a society now they have work husbands and work wives and stupid stuff.
Yeah.
No,
she fully bought into that stupidness.
Yeah. So, but her husband, how dumb could he? I mean, what does he do? Like, I would like to know more about.
He's like the equivalent of that. You remember that one guy that was having that was doing he was doing those podcasts or whatever, and his wife was standing beside him when he apologized because she caught him, and they just found out divorce. I forgot his name, but he was supposed to be quote unquote an influencer and all this other crap, and she was sitting there looking like a Stepford wife. in a trance with a bonnet on while he was giving his confession online. It's like, okay.
Well, they're going through divorce now.
Yeah, exactly. They sure are.
Yeah, because I think they held it on for like what, a few months after that. So
Yeah. I mean, it's like who else and during what time? And there's no cameras in the fucking police station.
They are, but I'm sure they want to do their own internal investigation because this is how they handle it. So, internal investigation.
And then, of course, it's like I said, it's Office 101. You're sending posts like on your phones and the pornography, and maybe sending stuff like your dick pics and pussy pics and titty pics and hey, look what what's the name was doing in the closet. Like the fuck.
Great. I mean, she is really pale.
That's how they found.
Yeah.
That's how they found out about that teacher that had that was it OnlyFans page?
Oh,
Yeah.
Kids found it. I mean, just people don't care. Yeah, right. That Derek Jackson. Thanks, Nikki. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Yep.
Derek Jackson. Yeah. So yeah, it's just it was gonna happen. It was gonna fall. I don't know how long it lasted, but come on, man. That's like every office, every government agency. Has it happened before? I'm pretty sure.
15 minutes at a time.
Yeah. It's happened before many times over. This is not the first. Not the first station.
Emotional, damn it.
I got a question. I got questions before he got questions. Drinking it like he got on fire like pre-show.
Yeah, he was killing with the shoulders when he got on.
Yeah,
there.
he was dancing and everything.
Oh, I had a good time.
What was that promotion about chatbots?
Oh my god.
Garbage.
Yeah. Well, anyways, those of us who work in the government, man, come on, man. We know better than that shit, man. But like I said, it's not the first, it's not going to be the last, but it just takes one person to be disgruntled or one slip. Like, oh fuck, I didn't mean to send that picture to you know what I'm saying? And
or
the
it could
bigger
have been a guy that night that shot his shot and he couldn't get it.
probably
because everybody else got some. So you ain't even be a corner.
Or somebody got it before he got it. He was promised it and was trying to love her up and everything like that. And then next thing you know, somebody else undercut him, and now he got an attitude.
She is
exactly
like a squirrel.
Yeah.
Can we show the picture?
Now I've heard. I'm show a picture. Oh, she's.
Yeah, I mean,
she ain't ugly. I mean, she ain't like.
Well, I mean, Floyd,
the most beautiful girl in the world. But
how the old folks should say, "Oh, she look homely."
She not ugly. She's just hard to look at.
Yeah.
I mean, she's okay. I
don't see what's so special.
Yeah, isn't that giving squirrel?
Oh wow.
Yeah, and here's some of the officers that got caught.
Oh, they did full blown pictures of them.
Oh yeah,
wow.
Great glamour shots.
Right. Wow. Oh, hey, he's sitting right next to her. Yeah.
She looked like one of those queen for a year, you know, when you deploy. D3.
Oh yeah, morale booster.
The morale booster.
That's what they called them.
Queen for a year, or queen for 6 months, whatever it is.
Or for a year, that's your jump off.
Yeah.
Jump off.
Y'all teach me a lot. So.
Well, it's either you jack off or.
What is that in her hand? Is that spaghetti? They was looking at her slurp that spaghetti.
No, it's a chicken.
And she got a big ass ring right there too.
She like bones.
Yeah. So they deserve whatever policies that they break. Yeah, they deserve it all. No empathy at all.
At all, no.
Yeah. Could you imagine you being like the outsider, like, what the fuck is going on? Why does it fucking smell like sex in this goddamn office?
Or just want you around?
You go to the gym and you about to sit on the leg machine. You see butt print on it.
Oh my god,
not good.
Yeah, you hear things in the closet there in the office. Come on, man, what the fuck is going on in here? So it was bound to happen.
And you still got people out here in this C-19 climate still drinking behind other people, using their straws and their spoons and.
Yeah. All right, next topic here is major companies, and we talked about this before. Major companies are dropping college requirements for new hires. Off of you see a video off of Earthquake's Instagram here. We'll watch a video and we'll talk about this. Hold on. Okay.
Special series, America's College Crisis, skyrocketing tuition, life-crippling student loan debt. It's got millions of parents and high schoolers wondering whether college is even worth it anymore.
Yeah, last year alone, enrollment dropped by 4.3% nationwide. Now, major companies are dropping their requirement for a degree. Our Dre Clark is live in New York at Washington Square Park, it looks like, with a look at this story. Dre, good morning.
Adrian and Mitch, good morning. Yeah, we're here at the park just across the street from the NYU campus. And this morning, we are naming names, giving you the companies that have now dropped their college degree requirement. This is a really big deal because just a few years ago, this would not have been the case. But the going rate for success has always been this tale. Go to college, get a degree, land a good job, and make lots of money. But with the cost of college now so very expensive and wages barely keeping up, the question is, what's the ROI, return on investment? I did some digging around. Take a look.
The numbers are staggering. There are 4 million fewer students in college today compared to 10 years ago.
Because it's too expensive.
High school graduates at the peak, about 2017, were going straight to college. Now we're down to 63%, and the decline is even sharper in many states.
John Marcus is senior editor at the Hechinger Report, a nonprofit publication covering inequality and innovation in education. The greatest decline, he says, is in the Northeast and Midwest, where birth rates are flat, meaning fewer students are coming out of high school. But the biggest reason why admission numbers are declining is the soaring cost.
It's not a secret that for decades, the cost of college has been increasing exponentially, and people have struggled to pay it. They've often borrowed to pay it, which has resulted in the student loan crisis that we've been hearing quite a lot about.
In fact, today, more than 40 million Americans have college debt. Megan McGrody is a first-year student at Boston University, an aspiring attorney. 4 years of undergrad, 3 years of law school, costing her family well into the six figures.
And I applied for financial aid, and it's like 100% need-based, so that helped too.
And the biggest universities are taking notice, launching programs to lure kids to college. Princeton just announcing most families earning less than $100,000 a year will pay nothing to attend the university. But for everyone else, paying sky-high prices, what's the return on their investment? Turns out it all depends on your major.
We've seen a big decline in the number of people enrolling in majors with the lowest ROI. So humanities, history,
education,
English.
College graduates make on average 60% more than non-college graduates. Of course, there are some professions that require a degree.
This is a very wide and vast world, so I mean, we need someone for everything. Like, there needs to be someone with a college degree to be a doctor.
But if you don't want to be a doctor or lawyer, do you really need a college degree?
In a knowledge economy like ours, based largely on things like tech, you need some people to continue to go to college. You don't need everybody to go to college.
Now, major companies like Google, Tesla, and IBM have dropped their requirement for a college degree. It's the new frontier of talent recruitment as enrollment continues to drop.
So what do you guys think?
So
I was a director. I got an associate's degree. That's all I got.
I was director too, but I mean, there's so many. I was in management too, but I mean, there's so many moving parts there. It depends on what the role is.
You know, now I got a question now too. You think about it. The past couple of weeks, they've been having mass layoffs for a lot of major companies. So is this just to compensate for that? You remember Twitter? Musk got rid of a lot of people too.
Well, reading like some of the comments, one of the number one comments was that's because more African Americans are obtaining degrees.
Oh wow!
And most of them are Black women, which Black women are like the most
educated,
and most likely to be CEO and directors. Yeah,
more incentives for Black women in STEM courses.
Yeah, so, I mean that was just going through the comments here. But it depends on what it is. Like, you know, in like the IT field and the cybersecurity field and stuff like that, I mean, you can easily get away with not having a degree. Or if you have experience in IT and you're cross-training into something, I mean, depending on your age, but I don't think a lot of people coming right out of a high school, not all the time they're ready for that type of a role.
Right. So they usually teaching them to get that cert first as they in high school before they even bother to go to college to get a job that comes out paying at least 60,000 with just 1 or 2 certs, especially when it comes to either the Sec Plus or a CCNA or anything in cloud computing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And when you're talking about like Fortune 500 companies or companies that are office based and more data driven, I mean, you can work your way up. You know what I'm saying? From entry level, and then say after 5 or 10 years, like I know everybody's job. I know every single thing. What makes you say that person is not qualified over someone came from Harvard? I have no job experience, but I'm a college graduate versus someone who's been in the system for 5 years and knows every department, knows every number and all that. Who's going to be more successful?
Well, some people can know like all of that stuff, but still not have people skills and the formal training to lead people. So, I mean, if they don't have that, the company or whatever can still fail. So
yeah, and then that's where, like we talked about, Carla, especially in the Air Force, where we have professional development classes to new supervisors. Hey, here's a leadership class. The Air Force does it for our E4s to E5s, right? ALS, Airman Leadership School. We have NCO Academy. So there's 3 leadership schools. So we understand that some people are not born to be leaders or know how to lead or know how to communicate. And that's where a company says, okay, I've got some new supervisors who may be up to be leaders one day. Let's go put them through like a Macmillan course or Disney course, whatever, to become leaders and how to communicate.
It depends on how they perform in that course, because they could go through that, go through the motions and stuff like that, but still they should have to prove themselves prove themselves.
Yeah.
Like
it's like a young LT coming in and fucking telling me what to do. I'm fucking E8, like, motherfucker. I got 18 years on you, bro. Like, come on.
But that's the thing. Like, you get those people who've been there for a long time and feel that way. But then you're always proving yourself. But then, because people I work with, they've been in that position for almost 25, 30 years, and they just reaching the same grade level I'm at.
And some people are complacent. You're right.
But then they get upset that happens, and they was like, well, I built all this and blah, blah, blah. But I was like, have you been applying yourself, though? Have you even threatened to leave? Like, why are you still here?
Why are you?
That's my question to them.
Yeah.
So, and then they look at me all side-eyed, and I'm like, well, I'm just coming with you with the facts. Like, I moved around. You decide to stay. Like, this is your trajectory flattens out and plateaus if you decide to stay. A lot of people don't have that discussion because jobs aren't the way how they used to be anymore.
A company is not loyal to you. I'm telling you right now, those days are done. There's maybe a rare few, like say a private company, you work the owners are family and all that, may be loyal, but yeah, they will replace you in a heartbeat. So for you, like you said, it behooves you to like look at other opportunities, same field, different company, and if they want to give you more money, fuck it, leave, man. Don't be loyal to a company that will replace you in a second.
Yeah, you have people like, I know exactly what you're talking about, Anthony. You have a lot of people that just they're complacent. They want to complain about everything. And when somebody comes up and, like I said, somebody comes from Harvard or wherever and go over top of them and something like, oh, even here, he's been here for such and such, and he don't even know what we know and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, well, obviously you didn't.
Can I tell y'all a funny story real quick? One of my coworkers.
It better be funny, but go ahead.
It'll make you think. I don't know about the funny part, but the funny thing is when we talk about complacency, I work in a building that actually has. I'm a contractor, so it actually has civil service employees and stuff like that too. Now, one of my coworkers, coolest dude you could ever meet, happy-go-lucky, everything. He was going up the stairs. Well, not upstairs, but he's going in the elevator.
Is he watching?
I don't know, but it's only 7 floors. He pushed the 7th floor, and there were some people of color that pushed the 5th floor, and they saw him push the 7th floor. I was like, man, what'd you have to do to get up there? And him being the nice person that he is, he's like, Man, that's just where my job is. Oh man, we doing big things, huh?
Oh yeah, because you have to have a certain clearance to go up on the 7th floor.
No,
Yeah.
no.
What?
Certain jobs are just on that floor. It's no different from anywhere else. That floor.
Oh.
But they were assuming that you have to have some special qualification or anything like that. When all it was just a different job.
See, and that's one of the things, the reason why, like, I know so many people in different places is because those people are the ones that will more than likely stay complacent because they will never learn the business behind the business that they're in. And that's the thing. It's like getting to know the people, getting to know the career set that they're in is the most important thing that you can ever do for any business, is to actually know who's running what.
Yeah.
And if they don't know your name, then you're pretty much useless. And I always tell people that I work with, like, I'm here to replace myself. I'm not here to sit around and know everything. No, I'm here to set up the SOPs so I can replace myself to the next mission. Like, it's no offense to you, but this is my job and that's my purpose.
Yeah, just for a seat.
Yeah, because Anthony will talk to anybody.
Yeah, you know it.
Anybody. Like Anthony will go from desk to desk to desk to desk and talk, but that's good though.
Right, and that's what George, because George, he was the manager at the time, just to kind of give y'all some background info, is that George did not validate my master's degree. He was like, oh, it's just theoretical stuff and blah, blah. I was like, times have changed. We actually did hands-on keys. We actually did the actual work. And then he denied me to actually go out and get a certification at that time because, Carla, he had like 20 of them things in his office.
Right.
Like, he wanted to hawk all the money. And I was like, you know what? Fine. I'm out of here. Because if I can't advance myself because you don't see the value in my degree, then I don't need to say. And then he wound up taking his master's. And then he was like, man, it's so much work. I was like, yeah, I've been through that already.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, that is more degrees going to Black people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, he probably was like, oh no, not you. You're not going.
Yeah, I mean, having a cert or degree obviously qualifies you for the job, but like at the end of the day, it's you as a leader to communicate, and move things up. Like, like our commanders, our even our senior NCOs, they don't need to know every single. They don't have to be a super expert and know everything within the job that needs to be done. They just know how to delegate and move things around. And how can I help you? And I think that's what Coach Anthony is thinking about. Look, I just want to keep moving up, as far as I can to a point where, I tap out, like I'm a GS13 or GSNS, something like that.
Well, at the time I was a contractor, but if you know the business of contracting, that the more people that you have on your team that are certified in different areas, the more valuable your contract is to the government at that time frame. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you need to know the business that you're in to kind of help out. But if the people that are running the show or people that are stagnant don't take time out to understand the business, then that's what you're going to get. And if you only got one person with the management because he was looking at it so he doesn't lose his job, because usually they cut off the top when they're trying to cut people, and they usually cut off the managers because they're not certified or so forth. And now he's running through all this stuff, even though he had a child in college, he had a wife at home. I'm like, yo, when do you spend time with your family if you're always
exactly. So. Yeah, I think between the ages of 20, 30, maybe even like early 40, I was never afraid. Carla knows, like, I overworked. FSS, that's just the way it is. Like, there's no hours. You got to work. And I feel like there was no loyalty because I bled and sweat for a unit for 16 years, and I'll call them out. 374 4 Sports Squad. I bled. I was out there doing things, and you make a mistake or you don't, whatever, and they cap you, like, because they saw me moving around a lot. I know all the units and all the facilities, from community to youth to marketing to the combat side and protocol and all that. And they kept seeing me moving up. You know what I got? I got denied to re-up for another couple years at Chili's, and they disapproved my extension. So I looked outside for the first time in my life, out of my squadron, and I got picked up as the deputy community center community center deputy at San Angelo, Texas. And I thought that was what the hell? You know what I'm saying? No degree. I got an associate's degree.
Yeah,
and a
because
lot of experience. Yeah.
yeah, because of like a lot of veterans, like veteran preference and stuff like that. They, because I worked in HR for worked for FSS.
Yeah.
That squadron. So veteran preference means a whole lot. It's like or two, I want to say.
I was a NAV 4. I was the highest paid NAV 4 on that base. How I knew? Because someone complained about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I didn't know. I mean, they offered, they countered, I countered, and I said, hey, you know what I'm saying?
Chili's was under FSS. Like people probably like Chili's. Chili's was under FSS, which is the squadron. Like everything on base had their.
So I was a deputy director for the bowling alley, the arts and craft, the E Club, O Club, the outdoor rec, and it was fun. I was learning until I got there, and I worked. I worked my heart out, like I was working at a big ass base. These motherfuckers go to this small base to retire and die. Meaning they're there at 8:30, they're gone at 3:30 or 4 o'clock. And you know, FSS and all of my events were at night or in afternoons. You know what I'm saying? And everybody was always present. Yeah.
Chow Hall, the fitness center.
Yeah. Marketing, youth programs, teen center. Yep. I did it all.
Sold chains in the mall. Worked for Piercing Pagoda.
Yeah. Everywhere. And then it was like sometimes he would overbook himself and be like, hey, can you do a gig over at the school? Because we DJ'd together. So I would go over to like the school. Floyd would be somewhere else. He'd be like overbooked this up. Well, not overbooked, but he would take multiple things. But he was very free hearted and he would give it out like, hey, I'm working here. So if you can, like the BET Comedy Jam, that was fun.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was like that. And then, like I said, I from experience, like there was no loyalty. There was a lot of hate, and there was like, okay, well, I'm not taking this. I've overworked myself for years, and I'm a new guy coming in, and they're like, why this, why that? And so I understand. I understand now the need. Now they kind of recognizing that these people like myself who've done through the system and weren't afraid to move around, but doesn't necessarily have the formal training, are very valuable.
Yeah.
And you can pay them and they will be, as loyal or as hardworking as anybody else who has formal training. Does formal training help? Yes. Don't let us sit there and let us tell you that education is not important. It is, but it's not the end of all. You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of people sleep on scholarships, but nobody really wants to apply for them. Like, I mean, even if you get like a grant writer to apply for scholarships for you, that's a good thing too. So
yeah. I think Rapture has said something. Yeah, social workers don't need education. Cops don't need education. They do need education.
Because of what he needs education. Because everybody you have to constantly learn no matter what. Sometimes it's formal, sometimes it's informal, but education is still learning.
Yeah, education. Yeah, I see what you're saying there. But I mean, I know what they're saying as far as like maybe a degree.
Higher educational degree.
Yeah. And of course, he said this is common. The FBI has announced mental illness. Yes. Yeah. I feel like in America alone, mental illness should be a priority because it is everywhere.
Right.
It's we have a lot of major PTSDs. There's cops see things like what the fuck that they get affected on.
But then at the same time, it's like, what does mental health look like to some people? You know what I mean? So I mean, some people can't always point it out, or some people don't always. So he's like, what is wrong with that?
Yeah.
I got some backlash from something that I answered on. Well, actually, a statement that I made on YouTube for I believe is the brother of one of the people that were running Black Lives Matter. He was tased to death.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I put in the comments section, I was like, so is it, you can see that he was having some type of mental health crisis. So is it really that difficult for whoever called 911 for the dispatcher to say, okay, this person might just be having some type of crisis. Is it really that hard to have somebody on call or on standby as a healthcare provider or mental health worker to go on those runs, or
exactly,
or when the cop goes out there and they see this guy was talking about he said, yeah, I just had a stunt. I mean, he was just talking completely out of his mind. So if that's the case, then you can radio back to dispatch like, yeah, we need a mental health professional out here. That might have saved his life. If you got ER doctors on call, is it really that difficult to have someone in a local hospital? I'm sure they have mental health workers whenever they want to admit somebody on a 72-hour hold. So you can't get in contact with the emergency room or someone who happens to be a mental health provider on call. I mean, it's not that difficult. It really ain't.
Yeah, I think it should be like, I mean, they run in squads, they run with partners and stuff like that. I think that should be just an extra partner now. I mean, the way things are going, because that guy should not have died.
No.
And if somebody is tasing you and telling you to be still, like, what the fuck?
Right.
Like,
At the same time.
Yeah, stop resisting. Like, okay, this ain't resisting. This is just that my body's moving involuntarily or whatever.
I'm just supposed to sit there while you wrench my arm backwards. I'm just supposed
to.
That's
where
scary.
Where do we get that from?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
And then think about it. Okay, if he's black, he's part of the movements or something like that. Of course, he's going to be scared as shit because he already knows like what's going to go down. He's right. And it's like, will they be punished?
Yeah.
Well, there's a immunity for some cities and some states for cops doing their duty. It's like CPR, right? We have the one act. As long as we're doing within our duties that we're trained to do, we cannot be sued or whatever that. So the cops, some cities have that. But it's there is a mental health, there is PTSD, and education is part. You can never learn more about social and looking at things like, hey, this guy's on cocaine. We need a social worker here or somebody, an expert. You don't know the reaction. All they're thinking is adrenaline. This guy won't stop. He won't, put his back. He can't. Like the one case where the guy was blind. Was he blind or deaf? Deaf. He was deaf, but he was driving. And they're telling him to roll down the window, and he put a sign telling like, "Dude, I'm deaf." Like, it's like, I'm deaf.
Sprayed him and everything, right?
Yeah. They they pepper sprayed him. They took him out of the car, and they're like, "Why are you not answering?" And the motherfucker said, "Because I'm deaf." Right. He's face down like that. And so police, out of anybody at least, they have to over educate themselves in every single scenario, in every medical scenario, in every health scenario, in every mental breakdown scenarios, because mental health is bad in the States.
Yeah.
I mean, they have just about as many roles as a teacher.
Yeah.
If you think about it from just understanding the public, the people, the safety, the education, outreach, like you're always on work, except for that when you're a teacher, no matter what clothes you put on, your face is out there. But as a cop, you only know you're a cop if they put on a uniform. Yeah. And I think that's one of the things that they have for themselves is that they can take that off.
Yeah.
But just from the education standpoint, it's just like they have to go through a lot of psychological evaluations as much as, if not more, as teachers do.
Yeah.
Because then you're dealing with adults. But for me, when I was dealing with kids, it was mostly understanding the pedagogy side of the house, which is like how they learn and how they operate, and also like crowd control. Like you hear that a lot on superhero films. Hey, you gotta take care of crowd control, like and make sure everybody's good and get out safely.
Yeah,
that's mostly what they have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. So
and they throughout their overworked, not enough people, not enough staff. Even the best of all nurses and social workers and police and teachers, they will desensitize themselves, and no empathy is almost throughout the window because they deal with it every day in abuse. So are there some people with a power trip? Yeah. But I think with the generally the most is this overwork not enough staff, not enough resources. And so you can't blanket every teacher and every nurse. Oh, police have a power trip. They see negativity every day, every day, every second. It will eat up on you. It will get to you if you don't release that, or don't get help, or don't get the resources. So it's very hard being a teacher. I'm an educator and I can understand working with 30 kids, at the ages of like 7, 8, 10, 12, 14 to 18, how their moods change and their challenges. And I deal with it all the time. There's people like they got 5 kids, 4 kids, or some abuse or whatever, and you have to go through it. Do you show empathy? Do you follow the rules? Like
Right.
if you're a minute late, I don't want you to quit. So teachers and nurses and police, they get it all. Social workers, they get it all. And it's that's their whole career. And I can empathize for them,
If you think about it, any job that's within it's customer service based. Teachers deal with customers. Police, nurses, they deal with customers. Those are the hardest jobs no matter what. And no matter what you do, you're going to be underpaid. The mature part of it is, how do you deal with that frustration? Do you take it out? Do you have a bad day? You take it out on the first person that gets on your nerves. It shouldn't be like that. So, I mean, if that's the case, then you just, like you said, you can't lump everybody in that same category. And sometimes, is it really fair to a teacher if a parent sends a kid to the school and expects you to raise them? There's a lot of kids. There's a lot of kids that go to school to learn and to eat and everything else. But how do you learn on an empty stomach?
Right.
What do you do? You're literally responsible for all those lives in that classroom. That's a lot of pressure. And then on top of that, you're buying your own supplies.
Yep.
I mean, and then at the same time, the supplies that you do have that are issued to you are backdated. They're old as hell. I mean, so what do you do? What you do with that frustration is key.
And keep in mind, it's like not just the food side of the house. You got to think about the family dynamic, which I had to deal with multiple occasions where they just getting to 3rd grade, but they also now a new brother, a new sister now, and dealing with that aspect that they no longer the baby.
Yeah.
You got the other aspect of the emotional side. Now, keep in mind, 30 kids is just one class. When you have 4, usually, so you're dealing with about 120 students on a regular basis.
Yep.
So it's a lot, especially in the professions that require education. As a teacher, in order for you to actually make some real money, you need at least a master's degree. And if you want to be a principal, you have to have almost a PhD just to become a principal. So it's a lot.
Yeah.
The older the kid, the less you can tell them.
Yes. All right. Well, let's go on to our new segments here. I've got questions about that wallet and the new Am I the Asshole? Stand by.
Well, y'all, this whole week I've been talking with my wife, and I've been thinking about some things on my own. And I know that tomorrow is considered the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday, and it's a national holiday. So that made me think. I don't know if y'all going to have an answer to this question or not. It might be a little bit rhetorical, but it is what it is. For a man that was a pacifist and preached nonviolence, why is it that if you go to any MLK Boulevard in any city in this country, you could get stabbed, shot, killed, beat down? I'm D3 and I got questions. Just being honest. Just being honest. Tell the truth.
I mean, even in Baltimore.
That man was a pacifist.
Over by that Rite Aid.
You go to any MLK in this country, chances are you're going to catch a 2-piece if you ain't prepared.
And a biscuit.
And a biscuit. Why is that? Come on, man. Really? Is that how we're going to remember him?
That's true. That was very immature to bust out laughing, Anthony.
Yeah.
I mean,
but it's
image of that of the embrace that was happening.
So
Anthony, you bad influence.
at first glance, obviously, depending on what location you're looking at, this new statue that was presented to Boston over the weekend, this is what it looks like. At first, yeah, it doesn't look correctly what we think we would want to look like. Say at this angle right here.
Yeah, get some more images. Yeah.
That look like a turd.
Yeah. But at the right embrace, it's called the embrace statue. And that's what it's actually, if you look at the actual picture, it was, modeled after. I get it. But it just looks weird in different angles. Does it make sense? And so a lot of people are memming it, or a lot of people are memming it because it looks like
memeing
it because it looked like, something different sexually. It's like,
yeah. Oh, what? They look like somebody ass up or something. What is that?
exactly. But if you look at the actual embrace picture, that's basically the head makes it look weird. No head.
Idea was that.
Why didn't they finish that? I mean,
it's a black guy that did it. They talked about the artist out of 210 different submissions. This one won it, but it was a black guy that showed his sculpture. They showed like the clay model. I'm not sure if you got that image out.
It looked like a science fair project, and he just thought of something real quick, and then it's like, okay, well, I got to display this. I just give it to him. That ain't finished. Come on, bro. That ain't finished.
The only one that they did right was the one in here in DC.
Oh, there you go. So it was this picture right here, I guess.
Yeah, that's the clay version.
But still, it looks like.
Why?
No, bro.
Right. I mean, couldn't they have done something?
When's too modern? You know what I'm saying? Like, but I understand. And if you look at differently with the details, okay, I can see it, but it was too, it don't look right.
So, So Nikki says, the MLK and Chicago's crazy too. Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Chicago one? Well, let me see. Check it out. Chicago?
Oh, the Philly lost. Who's Philly playing?
You know what?
They got a bye week.
Yeah,
this one right here?
Yeah, but let me say something real quick to Tim. Tim, because our record is so great, we have a week where we can just relax. So there's that.
Oh.
But carry on as you were.
Yeah, but the one in DC was the one where they coming through the blockade. So I think he had it if you scroll down some more. Yeah.
Oh, down more.
Yep, that was the one that's in DC. So I ride past that when I go by DCA when I do a bike ride. So
yeah.
That's okay. Yeah, I can deal with that one. You know what it is.
Yeah, that was a nice park. I went to that park one time. It was a nice park.
Yeah, the tidal basin.
Yeah. That was
really that's okay. It's this one that's giving a lot of people like, what the
that's
beyond. I don't think it's great. And he tried. What's that noise?
Yeah, what's that?
I don't know. Okay, well, yeah. Well, so what was the question again? Sorry.
You know what? You know what? Hey, Floyd, you're in San Diego. How is the do y'all have an MLK Boulevard there?
Boulevard, yeah.
Y'all have Martin Luther King Boulevard?
Have you been there after dark?
Have you been there?
No, I haven't.
See, yeah.
Chicken.
San Diego.
So
are you saying? So are we saying that every dedicated road or highway or neighborhood is not a good neighborhood? So what are you saying?
I have not been to a Martin Luther King Boulevard that has been fantabulous. Like
nope.
No.
Yeah, we have a 94 East called the Martin Luther King Jr. Freeway.
Well, I would say freeway might be different because it was a freeway, but I'm talking about
freeway
if it's a boulevard.
Yeah.
Got boulevard behind it. You know, it's
street.
Yeah, you have you know, leave out of there butt naked.
Bucket naked.
I don't know. I'm saying it's a coincidence, but maybe because they would name the street that is predominantly a minority area, and unfortunately, a lot of bad things happen during that area, that street. I don't know.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I don't want one near me.
Yeah. So the Ravens are up 10-9.
He's up there
Trust
looking.
me, I know.
Okay, what you have to already?
Yep. What up, everybody? So, just to let you guys know, obviously it's the beginning of the year, and FAFSA. We already talking about education, and one of the things about the education process is that you want to make sure you get some money. So, FAFSA, if you don't know about it, please go ahead and just go to FAFSA.com and start signing up for today, so you can go ahead on and get enrolled inside some of those scholarships. Speaking of which, I'm actually reading an insert from the book called Financial Literacy 101 for college students. I'm actually taking a lot of notes in this book because I know the author, which is Chris Carithian. And he actually wrote this book, and I'm just going through taking notes, what I thought was fun. But one of the things that he has here is called 4 Ways to Earn Money. And he calls it the 4 quadrants, E, S, B, and I, where E stands for an employee. B stands for business owner. S stands for self-employed or small business. And I is the investor. So those are the 4 main ways, honestly, to make income. Now, one of the things, I'm not going to go into detail with this, but these are things that we all need to learn as we get older. We talk about the return on investment. College can either help us or hurt us. It really depends on how we actually enter the colleges that we want to go into. So please take a time out if you have a young one, or if you plan on going back to college yourself. Think about where you really want to go, what you want to do with this degree, and is it really worth it for your for the job that you want? I would say that Grant Cardone, I was on a Twitter space with him, and he was talking about that when it comes to the return on investment for education is to make sure that his daughter goes to a college where they are tied up with the politicians. The politicians has always been running this country. Don't matter about no crypto, don't worry about no money and so forth. But the politicians, the networking is the most important thing that he saw that was valuable for his education. And to me, I have to agree with him that the networking is kind of the best thing that I got out of my college degree. So I'm Anthony, and I'm the host of the About That Wallet podcast. And that's what I got for today.
Yeah, like I said, we're not harping like education is bad, but I think education. What's your return of an investment depending on the major that you're going into? But how many friends and families that you guys know went to a college and the major that they're doing, what major they majored on and graduated is not the exact job that they're doing now? So was it a return on investment, or was it only the past 2 years where you're getting your general education that was only helpful for you?
For me, it wasn't until like the later years. But also nobody would hire me at the time as an elementary educator in the IT world. So I had to actually go out and actually get an IT degree. So that's why I got my master's and finished that out in a year, just to make sure that I can get a job that I wanted.
Yeah.
And then also, like when you do go into college and you're investing in yourself, a lot of people don't realize that that's exactly what you're doing. You're investing in yourself. And people think it's supposed to be given to them. You still have to work. You still have to put in the work. You still have to put in the research and stuff to make sure, like if you're looking at a job description, or if you're looking at, depending on what career that you want to do, you have to make sure that, is this the right, what do you call it? Is this the right degree for me? You know what I mean? Like I want to be a cybersecurity professional, but I went into nursing, So.
No, and also how many billionaires that didn't come from money who are successful, multi-millionaire billionaires, have a college degree?
That have a college degree?
Bill Gates.
Well, Bill
Does he
Gates.
have a college degree?
He dropped
No.
out.
Yeah, and Elon
Um,
doesn't Elon Musk?
I thought he dropped out too.
Yeah, Jay-Z, Beyonce. Y'all better be glad I can't dance, because let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who else? Facebook. What's his name? All of them. All the founders. Pretty much all the founders. Of
Well,
Facebook.
you know what? Damon Dash was saying something interesting. I was watching one of his, and he said he never went to school for business or anything like that. And of course, he says, millionaire. But he said he never went to school for like business and stuff like that. He was like, don't you think like if everybody went to school for business and stuff like that, that there'll be a bunch of like billionaires out here, millionaires out here?
Yep.
That was, very interesting. So he said
Shaquille O'Neal, one of the most successful NBA careers, but also now he's a media, Hollywood, and entrepreneur. He went back to school because he wanted to. That's pretty much what it was. It wasn't because to be more successful. No, man, I just wanted to go get a PhD. Now he's Dr. Shaquille O'Neal, right?
Right.
And PhD, he has a PhD now. But he did go to be a lawyer, a law school, because he just wanted to understand more of the contracts and lawyer talks when he's dealing all these contracts too.
Well, my neighbor across the street, he said that if he won, if he was like the Powerball winner, he said he'd go to school for the rest of his life. He said he likes going to school and he likes to learn. He says
Zuckerberg, yeah.
He would just continue to go to school. I'm
Yeah.
like, wow. Like, I mean, I wouldn't.
I mean, I'll probably do more boot camps.
Yeah.
Actual full college degree.
Yeah, I'd do boot camps before I could go to
if you want to Powerball
2-year university. I'd rather do a boot camp just for my own personal learning.
Shit, I'm too old.
Yeah.
I guess I'm the only one that's not, because I
wouldn't do a boot camp.
Workshops, boot camps, workshops. I mean, yeah. I think colleges now are doing that now. They're doing workshops.
I'm gonna have some good investments coming back to me and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
but at the same time, you go to those boot camps to be able to keep your money in house and know exactly where you're going. You just can't trust people with your money and expect everything to be great.
True.
All the time
we're going to Maldives.
All the times we don't watch Unsung and their money. They don't know exactly anything in the contracts.
Yeah.
Trusting people, no, you need to know exactly.
Oh
what
no, that's true. I mean, like, so you gotta cash your own checks.
Yeah. Basically, what we're saying is you can get education in different ways versus a formal education. There's so much information out there. There's so much mentors that you can follow that you don't necessarily have a full formal degree to be successful in any career field, almost any career field, except for if you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, or whatever. You got to have that.
$1 billion Powerball, billions.
Yeah, it's 1.6 now, right?
Yeah. I'm just thinking about it. I'm just like, I'm 16 years away from retirement.
I will never work.
Age.
I'll be an angel investor, maybe.
That's
I'm
what I'm
$1
saying.
million away from retiring. I'm $1 million away from retiring.
Shit.
Let's get it.
Yeah. So I'm giving myself 10 years to get $1 million. Yeah.
I ain't trying to tell you what you can do, but maybe
Well,
you just get a side hustle, just start locking on this freeway. Killing with the show.
Exactly, because baby, he got a mean cabbage patch. Go ahead, baby, show.
No, you got to pay for that. You don't do that for free.
That's right. Okay.
OnlyFans.
All right, let's go on to I'm so thinking about that OnlyFans. All right, let's go to our new segment here. Hold on, stand by. All right, new segment here. Carla sent this to me. Woman claims her terminal ill ex-husband's dying wish is to see her one last time. Current husband threatens to divorce her if she goes. So here's the story. One woman on Reddit claiming that her terminally ill ex-husband's dying wish is to see her one last time. However, her current husband is opposed to the ideal and has even threatened to divorce her if she goes. Seemingly conflicted by her dilemma, the woman wrote, "My ex-husband and I got divorced 3 years ago, and we didn't have any kids, although we wanted them so badly. We knew each other for 10 years before we got married, and we had been through so much together. He helped me out when my family abandoned me and quit his job to move with me. He even helped me to get my degree. Though the two took vows promising to stay with each other from sickness and health, the woman says that her ex-husband had initiated the divorce because he couldn't take being a burden to her after his diagnosis. She claims that recently her husband, who was very sick, ex-husband is very sick, reached out to her to see her if for what may be the last time, but her husband is not having it. My current husband has got extremely upset with me, and when I mentioned it to him and threatened me to divorce me if I go. I'm 5 months pregnant, and I feel like I'm seeing a side of my now husband that I've never seen before," she explained. He called this inappropriate and that my ex is being very manipulative. He told me he'd divorce me if I see him, but this could be my last chance to say goodbye to him. I can't imagine how terrible it would feel if he passes away without seeing him for the last time, but there's a lot at stake here, and I don't want to sneak behind my husband's back.
So why is it so important for her to see him one last time?
Right.
Okay, they're
he dying.
Yeah, they're different. Because I mean, if it was me, I'd be like, I mean, I don't have exes worthy of seeing what on their dying bed, like what Dolph Lundgren said.
You know, unplug the cord.
Nice.
But I'm saying, like, ignorant. So that's different. I think their thing is kind of different, but then at the same time, what did she tell her current husband? Like, if she told her current husband some shit like, yeah, with my ex-husband, he used to do this and do that, and maybe got him a little mad or riled up and like, why do you want to go see him if he did that? If that's the only reason why they divorced because of his diagnosis, she's kind of ridiculous because I don't know. I smell Black and Miles or something. That don't sound right.
Yeah, I mean, why? So, I mean, going to the backstory, he helped her get a degree. He helped her when her family abandoned him. He felt bad that because he got diagnosed with, a terminal ill, whatever disease, and he's like, I don't want to burden you. So wouldn't it be like, no, you were here for me, so I should be here for you.
Sickness.
So now, yeah. Exactly. And maybe it came to the part where I can't have sex with you anymore, so I want you to be happy, blah, 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 blah. So who's feeling guilty now?
I just think that if she's happy in her current relationship, don't even worry about it.
Well, the thing about it, the people in the comments were saying the same thing Nikki was saying, like, bitch, go to the store and just, don't say that.
So who's the asshole? The husband or the wife?
I mean, the husband has a right to say how he feels.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's her choice.
He put it out there like, I'm going to divorce your ass. Like,
I question everything. I still got a question. So why would the husband go to that extreme knowing that she's pregnant?
Oh, she's pregnant now?
Yes.
Yeah, she's pregnant.
She's pregnant now.
Oh, so he want to rub her stomach or something?
It sounds like the husband is looking for an excuse to get away from her.
Yeah, he don't want her.
Well, no, if she's pregnant, now I can see why the husband may not want her to go. Because what if she like breaks down or whatever and gets real, upset? Because women can get emotional and stuff like that. So, I mean.
Why don't he just go with her?
But pregnant women ain't supposed to be around dead folks anyway, are they?
Yeah. Why don't you go? Why doesn't the current husband go, okay, I'll go with you?
Superstition.
Oh, superstition?
Yeah. I know nothing like that. I ain't never heard of that one, though.
But I understand why the husband would go to that extreme. Oh, if you can't see him,
yeah.
That sound right. That sounds like an excuse to me. Unless been doing a whole bunch of other stuff that she's not talking about with the ex before then, while she was married with him, and that's the straw. I mean, it's still open ended.
Because he could have been over there. It'd be funny if that is his baby, though.
So some of the comments says, go see that man if your new husband that childless and divorce you, name the baby after ex-husband. Motherfucker.
Whoa.
That's messy.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they like
That's
the
messy.
comments were just like
Yeah.
telling her to. The comments, most of the comments were saying for her to leave him and saying that he was wrong. And
Karina Star says, "This is why you shouldn't tell your partner everything." Nope, that's wrong. She could have went to see him before he died, and her husband would not know, been any wiser.
What if he's the only breadwinner because she's pregnant? Where's she gonna go? What's she gonna do?
Right, because so then she's using his money technically to go spend some time with her, some other dude.
But if he kicks her out, what's she gonna do?
But he dying. He gonna die. Like
talking about the husband. If
the husband that she's with,
if she's pregnant and homeless because she went to go see her ex is dying, what's she gonna do?
Right.
Alimony.
Hey, yeah, that's true. She could actually get 75%.
How's that gonna get her a place to stay right now?
Yeah, because she could get 75%.
They have like emergency stuff for like if she goes to court or whatever, they have emergency stuff for females if
Yeah.
I mean, who's to say he's even balling like that? Freddie gets 75% of like 36,000 a year. Or something.
Yeah. What if there's an inheritance?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe he's still part of it. You know how it is when the guy loves him too much. Like fuck it, and he hasn't gotten married, so he probably has insurance. Yeah. Got a wheel.
Got the beneficiary. Yeah.
So she basically going to see her ex for her money. If that's the case, she could have told her.
Because he's like, I'm not going. I said, okay, I'm taking your name off the motherfucking insurance.
Right. But also, I'm thinking of like, because there's multiple times, and I hear this a lot too. It's like people don't update their beneficiary list.
Yeah.
So a lot of the money will go.
I'm gonna assume he didn't. I'm gonna assume he didn't. So one comment says, "Girl, you better go make your way over to the hospital. He's dying. If all it takes is for your husband to leave you because you went to see your ex who's dying, I don't know what to tell you.
It's more to it. My thing is this. So does her ex? Does he? I know he's in a hospital and everything like that. So does he have a phone? Does she have FaceTime? You can't see him like that.
Yeah,
you there?
You can FaceTime. Yeah, you can FaceTime.
They're not telling the whole story.
Yeah.
If it's that important for her to be there, she could FaceTime him. She could have FaceTime him while he was in the hospital. He just ain't pop up, and it was his last day.
Right.
He must have been in there.
You know what? The current husband was like, I better not see him on your phone or something like that.
But then think about it. What's he dying from? Is he dying from COVID? What is he dying from? What if he's in isolation?
Yeah, that's true.
I'm gonna say cancer probably. I'm not sure. It doesn't say.
If she's pregnant with her current husband's baby, and the dude that she wants to go see is in isolation.
Yeah.
You want
to subject the baby to that?
Yeah.
So when the insurance money kicks in or will kicks in, the husband is like, "Oh well, you know what? Don't take that money."
Yeah. We won't know the whole story to that. That's for sure. So we can just like make all kinds of assumptions and everything, because part of me thinks it's really not that deep, and then part of me thinks that it. I don't know. It's just so many moving parts there.
All right. I would the husband is not an asshole for feeling that way, but I think like you said, FaceTime on phone would be appropriate. Like, okay, whatever.
Who knows what? I don't know.
But I gotta be in the room. I gotta be like in the room when it happens.
There's too many variables.
In the room where it happened.
So is she the asshole for wanting to go see her? Go see him?
Nope.
I still want to know what her tie is to her ex.
Yeah.
Why is that so strong?
Maybe she got a career because of him. Remember he
put her through school or something like that.
School, yeah.
Shit like that. Even if they did that ex for a reason.
So I don't know. It could be both of them assholes, but
it's just
a lot of variables.
Donkeys.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't blame her if she goes. That's just me. Yeah. Eagles. Do the Ravens win?
Not over. It's third quarter.
Okay.
Oh, wish you luck. Like I said, F the Chargers. You lost it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. We're at Highway 54. Coach Andy from About That Wallet. Check him out on his Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and all that. Help us out. Like, subscribe, and share every time we have a podcast. About That Wall also has merchandise, so go ahead and support. My name is DJ Kid Mango. We've got Carla and D3 in the house also.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Aunt Renee. Thank you, Nikki, Rapture, Corey, Uncle Tony, Mom, everybody.
Jim,
Tim,
like the show. Like the show.
like, subscribe.
There.
Yes, sir. All right. Thank you guys for all the comments. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you guys next Sunday. Peace out.
Peace.
We hope you enjoyed the show today. Do us a favor and click on the like button or share our podcast. Thanks for listening. Till next time, we are Highway 54.